This is Russell Bobbitt. He's our prop master, and we're designing a new shape for the RT light for when he changes it out for the triangle. In the suit, it's going to be a triangle, but we are trying to preserve some of the personality of the old silhouette that comes through the shirt from the light. So we're trying to incorporate the triangle, but we're confined by the shape of the hole in Tony's chest, and also when you just put a triangle in, it feels kind of Superman-ish, which we want to keep it our own.
If you squint your eyes, depending on your personality, you can find anything in there.
I think it looks like a Jewish star. I think if you swap those two things, it looks like a Jewish star, and it seems like we're sending some weird religious propaganda message, which we're not.
No, we're not.
We're not. Nothing against Jewish stars. It looks good on a necklace. I don't think it necessarily looks good in Iron Man's chest.
Oh, this is gonna work.
You get so lost in the tech talk, and ultimately all of it is movie comic book logic, that to have something graphic going from a circle to a triangle, people will get that there is a new advance in that tech. And so keeping it graphically simple is cool. Plus it helps us build towards our hall of armor of many different designs, which is part of the mythology of Iron Man.
Here we are. Final fitting.
Doesn't she look great?
What do you think? Questions, comments, concerns?
She weighed 170 pounds when I hired her. Look she got into shape. She's been training 3 hours a day, at least, just on the stunts.
Oh yeah, no, don't forget the 2 hours I spend lifting my own body weight. There's that too.
She lifts her own body weight. She looks fantastic.
I've eaten so much tuna sashimi since we started that I'm gonna sue for mercury poisoning.
We're trying to decide between this and this. Put it on film. And we're gonna be the fighting duo soon.
That's right.
Me and you.
You better bring it.
Hi, I'm Heidi. I'm Scarlett's stunt double. We've been working with her on this move for a couple weeks now, and she's actually gonna maybe be able to perform it today. It's kind of a cartwheel, a one-armed cartwheel with a leg locked around the guy's neck, and then you yank him down to the ground and does a front flip to his back. Scarlett works so hard, and she's picked up so many of the moves. In fact, she can do the beginning intro into this, and she also can finish the end flop down.
Oh my God! Happy, are you all right?
What you just do?
Sorry about that. It was just.
You just got served, Happy.
Day 44 in the garage, our last day in the garage. Tony's trashed his place, and he's forging the new element using components that he brought in from Stark Industries. With the exception of a few pickup shots in here, we're pretty much done with the set. We're gonna leave it standing because as we finish the film, the workshop always comes in handy, so we're not gonna tear it down just yet. But we're about to move on to Monaco. We shot with second unit at Monte Carlo, and we're gonna try to make the plates that we shot overseas match with what we've built here. So I've never done anything like it. I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. It's been storyboarded, pre-vised, animatic. Hopefully it'll be the fun mid-act set piece of our film.
It's important to us to showcase that Tony Stark, that Iron Man is a global hero.
He's a jet setter, so the idea of shooting in Monaco and the idea of actually shooting in Monaco during the historic Grand Prix was very exciting.
And action! Et que quand on fasse le plan avec la Silverado, je laisserai bloquer.
Monaco to me encapsulates all of Tony's worldly endeavors and also a passion of his, which is racing.
The historic race at Monaco has the best of the Formula One cars. The cars all have about 500 horsepower, driven by the owner-drivers who are Tony Stark type of characters with a fairly high level of wealth.
Hi, I am Happy Hogan. I'm happy to be in Monaco.
Hello, I am Pepper Potts. Here we are in Monaco.
3, 2, 1, go! It's our first day of shooting here in Monaco. We had to close off a certain section of the circuit and run all of our vehicles through to mimic the movements of both the race cars, the Stark car, as well as Happy and Pepper in the Rolls Royce as they come to help Tony save the day.
400-meter mark, see where the gap is? Yeah. No barrier? Yeah. Right there is where it should happen. Yeah, I think we have to, it's a boom down to that.
And action.
It's a combination of empty plates, sort of cars driving with cameras down the street, into which we'll add digital race cars of Tony racing, background plates to put behind people, just to make it feel like we're actually in Monaco. And then we'll combine that with other material we shoot in sets in LA that are also built to replicate this environment.
To make it look as if the entire fight and all of the actors were here in Monaco, whereas they actually weren't. All of their work is shot in Downey, California.
When you're recreating a race, how do you get around all these logistics? The race cars are very temperamental. You can only start them up once. It takes 12 people to start it up. There's a team that runs the car.
So we built a section of the track that we could use as a foreground, where we could actually flip cars and have explosions and have people in the stands and direct, because that wouldn't have really been possible. We built that track in Downey, which is a place that we shot the first film, and it's a film-friendly studio with a lot of outdoor space.
So we're building a large-size set with an enormous green screen.
It's a thrill, it's a challenge, it's much more complex than any sequence we did in the first film. And it's not even our biggest sequence in this film.
The whole Monaco scene, I think, is just going to be ridiculously off the hook, and I'm really excited to see that whole whiplash sequence.
So Tony Stark himself is racing in the Monaco Historic Grand Prix. He brushes it off. He's going to go have fun because that's what he does. He ends up getting into trouble, and that's one of our biggest action scenes.
We premiere Whiplash in the first version of his suit. He gets Tony while he's vulnerable on the track.
I just thought it was interesting. Somebody who's willing to attack you in one of the most, it's like at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's like the European Super Bowl.
The idea of in Monaco, during a race, guys cutting the cars in half, a suitcase suit pops on, that's the fight.
There, you would step from your right lead back, pull, there.
Timing and timing. Get that guy.
We did whip training, we used bull whips, and then we got to where we could do certain things with the bull whips, you know, which is hard with two hands to coordinate it.
Grabs him by the neck and the arm. Yeah. By the neck and the arm, wraps around, pulls up, and then we'll pick the proper trajectory and animation.
Because it's an action movie, it was something that was very challenging to do, and that was part of the appeal to me.
It was, you know, Mickey and I and stunt guys and John and all these big things set up and hanging upside down.
So I'll come up around here, and then I'll do that.
You're not in the scene!
Back it up, John! Back it up! You're on my balls, man! You're killing me! Yeah, back it up! I got the wrong pages! I got the wrong pages! I don't have the whips! I don't have anything!
Back it up! Back it up! With the cars blowing up and flipping in the air, it would be so easy to say, let's just do that as a digital car. What we did is Dan Sudik, who's our special effects person, came up with a way to catapult cars in the air, flip them, they blow up.
It's always nice to mix the practical with the digital. So when we do the planning of the scenes, we always try to figure out what can be done practically to mix with the digital so that it has a better look to the film. We actually built 17 race cars.
Some with smoke that gets ejected onto the tires at certain points down the track, so it looks like the tires are locked up. So that's what some of these tubes are. These are our cannons. They'll shoot a 6-inch pole out onto the ground, launching the car into the air.
We started months ago. We started probably in January, figuring out the shots, figuring out the track system, you know, doing the math on all the gags. doing some testing, photographing some testing, getting it approved by the director, and that led us to this point here.
These cars are really being flipped in the air, tumbling down the track, a quarter-mile track, exploding, and the actors in the scene.
It's on a ratchet, so we're going to pull it with a pneumatic device based on the position of the other car in front of it. It's one of those things where we know the acceleration, and we have to calculate the deceleration so that we don't launch the cameras off and ruin the film.
Thanks so much, and also thanks for putting up with these conditions and all that running and the energy in the sun. And I know what it's like. I get it, and I know how hard it is to do what you're doing. So thank you so much. I want to thank the crew also for killing it today. We're skipping lunch and plowing through this and doing 2 days of work in 1 day. And enjoy your weekend.
It's day 30. We're here in Van Nuys Airport, but it's playing as France. This is Justin Hammer's corporate jet. See, it's this hammer on the side. It's G5.
Sure.
And this is when you're whining and dining Mickey Rourke after
dining Mickey Rourke, the whole thing. It's crazy.
It was Sam's choice that you're eating something sweet in every scene. I noticed you had a sundae going here.
Yeah, I guess sundae, a little lollipop.
Are you looking at the camera or at him when you're talking?
I'm looking at the camera.
Okay.
I'm always looking at the camera.
We're more in the same.
I'll do my Chris Walken voice.
Okay. Hammer as Chris Walken.
Okay. So, here we are. Iron Man. It's a humdinger. I like Jon Favreau. Like to swing all the time.
Justin's got the white floor, Tony's got the black floor. He's got the dark suit, you got the light suit.
I got the light suit.
You're the yang, he's yin.
The salt and the pepper.
How many times we worked together now? We did Made together?
We did Made, that's right.
G-Force.
G-Force.
We're guinea pigs in G-Force together. And that's when we first started, we were thinking of you, and that's when I saw you. We started talking about this at the voiceover session for G-Force.
That's right, we did. Making movies, very exciting. Lots of hurry up and waits. I like birds, sure, all the time. I like cockatoo.
A lot of words today.
A lot of words every day. We get guns, we got Senate rooms.
You had a little time to prep this scene, though. That was good. We didn't change it on you too much.
Yeah, a little time, little memorization.
It would be nice to give you a little more time with the words. But things change a lot around here.
Yeah.
Everything we shoot, it changes everything else.
Everything's changing.
But we're gonna try to keep your stuff pretty intact so that you could prepare and dig into it.
I'm changing my sexual preference on this movie. Everything's changing. Nuts.
Everything's up for grabs.
I want to get crazy with the cockatoo. Mickey Rourke, running around, got a bird.
First day working with Mickey, what'd you think?
Great, I love Mickey.
He got a kick out of you.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot, actually.
He's like, who is this guy? He's good. I said, yeah, he's good. And that's it, 1 day here, in and out, pretty good.
It's on.
It's on.
Cut.
We're setting up here for the Black Widow hallway sequence. This is where she takes out 12 guards and John fights 1 guard. Scarlett and John come through the front door, and this is Hammer Industries. As they come through the front door, they meet up with a guard. John starts fighting.
I used to fight a little bit, that is true. I did train, and I got to fight. It was fun.
Scarlett's been doing an amazing amount of training for this. In some of the more dangerous parts of this sequence, I put Heidi in just because I can't risk having Scarlett get hurt, but this is kind of the culmination of about 8 weeks of solid training for her, about 4 hours a day.
When I first saw the sequence that they wanted me to do when it was completed and choreographed, I just thought to myself, oh my God, I just don't know how am I gonna do this?
Ready, and action.
This right here, what you're seeing, is the highlight in the film for her, where we're really showing all of Scarlett's talents.
Tommy Harper combined a lot of different fighting styles, and she was game for learning it all.
I wanted to know what it feels like to hurdle over giant bodyguards and do all kinds of flippy things and whatever, all of that stuff. we got it. And when Tom says that he got it, then I know he got it.
It was good. You felt good with it? I didn't see anything.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know we're gonna still pick up like specials.
Yeah. Sure.
Got it.
Are the guns in a weird place?
Wider.
There.
Action!
Okay. One more, right away.
There. Is that helping?
That does help.
I'm trying to make her badass, man. She's too sweet.
I know, I feel like it's so low, I'm practically shooting at the floor. They're wonky. Did that look like I was looking right at you?
One more.
He's gone.
And drop the gun.
It was a lot of work and very frustrating at times.
Let's do one more and just sort of cruise out.
Reshoots? What reshoots? Is that low enough?
Sure.
Too low?
Great.
Which I'm sure you see on the behind the scenes, me just being like, why? You know, and wanting to get it right.
Ready? And action!
Very nice.
I felt electricity in the room. I felt good. Sometimes it's one shot that makes us start thinking Marilyn Monroe with the subway.
That's nice. That I like that grabbing that zoom and him having trouble holding him in the zoom. All that's fun. So let's look at it. Let's look at it from the beginning.
Visual effects is one of those areas where it takes a lot of work to get it right. I let those guys off the leash, and the ideas just poured forth. They're just torrent of ideas coming at you with such enthusiasm, and they would say, dude, make sound effects, and then this happens, when I shoot and this explodes up, it was just great. And I would just be charmed by it. I mean, yes, we'll do it. And everybody would say, how are we gonna do that? I was like, then we'll figure it out. We're not gonna do all of it.
From the first film, it's been very important to John and to us that we don't just make everything CG just to make it CG.
As good as we are in the computer graphics world, you always look at a practical reference so that you can either match it or augmentate it.
Dan Sudik threw real race cars around. We had real fire, real explosions.
So all these decisions are being made. It's a process that takes you even through post.
Everything is a rush. It doesn't matter how many months you give us, we're always sort of trying to beat the clock.
A lot of ideas that would work great in 2D animated environment. As you go to 3D and previs, the ideas that seem right stick and the ones fall away that don't. And then you start to see that there's certain adjustments that have to be made, but the spark and the core and the inspired ideas, try to really nurture that and preserve that. And I will continue to as we go through post-production.
We're up against it schedule-wise. We've given ourselves less time on this film than we did last time. It's a much more ambitious project. And this was part of the fear that I had when we had started so late. Less than 2 years to do this, to come up with the story, set it up, prep it, film it, cut it, and do all the finishing touches. It's no excuse. We're gonna have to do a great film, but it does put everybody under a tremendous amount of stress. It was ambitious to begin with, and now we've got to knock it into overdrive. So there's gonna be a lot of people not sleeping. Hundreds of people not sleeping.